good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into a special uh edition of TNT tonight. It should be TNT post game, but we're gonna change it up because we have some breaking news as you have seen all day, and we're gonna definitely talk a little bit about that. Before we do get into all that, make sure y'all share this show out. Go ahead and share it on whether you're on Facebook, on X, or Instagram. Definitely follow me there at Chris A. Newell on Facebook, or on Instagram at Titans underscore in underscore truth, as well as on X at TNT Blue Enforcer. And so let's get right into it. As y'all probably seen on the thumbnail, if you hadn't already, on the thing in the beginning that tells you what we're talking about, and that is, it is true. Breaking news from earlier today: the Tennessee Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan. He is out after 1.5 years and a 4-19 record. And honestly enough, it's the right move. Maybe it should have been done sooner. Maybe it should have been done before the beginning of the year. But it doesn't matter because it has already happened. It is done. He is fired. And I believe Paul Kaharski put out a tweet saying a source close to the organization says that his father, offensive line coach Bill Callahan, is probably going to resign. So he's probably going to leave as well, which, I mean, I probably could understand. And I'm like, hey, your son just got fired. You're thinking, I came for him. If he's not going to be around, I don't need to be around either. And I mean, it might be a good thing because the offensive line has sucked pretty much. So that's that on that. But yes, um, it is confirmed. It is the truth. Brian Callahan out as head coach of the Tennessee Titans. And bottom tier collector, I will give you the truth. That much is a fact. I'm going to definitely do it. Titan South says this made my day better. Um, Maybe we win 6 games in a row. I don't know. Bottom tier says really excited to see the process with Mike Borgonzi doing interviews, or will it be Chad Brinker? Got to hire the right coach with experience. I do agree with that one. My boy X been saying for a long time, bring Jeff Fisher back. No, sir, we're not. I ain't going back to no 8-8 ball. I want to be better than that. MHVACR said, I ain't gonna lie, the release statement about Callahan had a much softer tone compared to what they said about Rand. I mean, they basically ran out of town. Um, MHVACR says Callahan should have been fired in January. Probably so. And now Titan South says it's on Borgonzi to get the right head coach. I agree. This puts the clock on Borgonzi and Chad Brinker, really, to be honest. Reggie B said long overdue. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are happy about this. And here are my thoughts about this. I'm not going to hold everybody long. I'm just going to give my thoughts about it. I thought, and I think a lot of us thought Brian Callahan was a home run hire in the beginning. We're thinking we're getting a guy who is an offensive guru who knows how to shape an offense and put it together. Comes to find out, that's not necessarily the case. That didn't work out. The guy, he didn't have any experience calling plays. He had never really been a true offensive coordinator where he called the plays, and it was a recipe for disaster. And that's exactly what happened. Yes, at the time, I was happy. I was excited as well. And we're all waking up. We all have egg on our face. But again, this is the right move. Maybe it should have been done at the end of last season. I was willing to give him another shot because I felt like, you know what, year one maybe was just a Will Levis problem. Come to find out, Will Levis may have not been completely the problem. Will Levis was a symptom of the problem. Brian Callahan clearly was a problem. He had no in-game management experience, didn't know how to handle things, didn't know the rules, and he looked like the village idiot, and it showed. It showed he didn't have any experience, and it proved it. And so, I hated, I hate that he didn't get a full season, but the way this season was going, it wasn't looking hot. And then you get embarrassed by a Raider team that you had no business losing to. That team stinks, but made you look worse. And you have Cam Ward's worst game of his career, which means I think not only does Brian Callahan need to be gone, Bo Hardegree might need to be gone too because he hasn't called plays any better. So I didn't really like how all of this was going. And I mean, it just seemed like we're in this carousel. And a lot of this has to be put at the feet of Amy Adams Strunk as well. We know how impatient she is. She wants to win. She wants to win, but won't give nobody any time to really develop. And I think that's the thing, is like we want to see some development. Even in losing, you want to at least look competitive. You at least want to look like, you know what? We're trying, we're giving it, we just can't get over the hump. Or you get over the hump sometimes, and other times you don't. But at least look like you have a fighting chance out there. And a lot of times, it didn't look like we had a fighting chance at all in a lot of games. And the only reason the only reason we're not one, the only reason we're not 0-6 right now is because old boy in Arizona dropped the football before he got into the end zone. That's the only reason why we're not 0-6 right now. That's what we should be. But this might have been moved at the right time because, hey, you got Mike Vrabel coming in on Sunday, and you know he wants to give you payback for firing him. Mike Vrabel is petty. He's going to want to stick it to the Titans and be like, hey, I'm on a better team now. So this might have been the right move at the right time. But at the end of the day, still doesn't take away um the bad that happened. Mitch VACR said he tricked everyone. I ain't buy it after a few games. Either you have it or you don't. And obviously, he doesn't have it. Has there been any interim head coach that turned the team around? I mean, if we look back in history, there was one that did it for this particular team. And his name was Mike Mularkey. Gotta give it to him. I mean, we were at a bad point, and Mike Mularkey changed the culture and turned things around. Had us competing, had us fighting, got us into the playoffs, and then got fired even after winning a playoff game. So Mike Mularkey has done some good. Now, excuse me. And so now we do have a new interim head coach, and that was senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy, will now take over as the interim head coach of this team. He was head coach out in with the Chargers for 4 years. Got them to a playoff. They've had a couple of winning seasons, but he only lasted 4 years. And the question is, how come he never got another head coaching opportunity? And I mean, that's something I guess we're going to be finding out. But I don't know if Mike McCoy is going to turn this team around. He might get us a few victories. He might get us a few victories, but I mean, it could be what happens if Mike McCoy is successful. Then Miss Amy, who usually falls in love with short-term success, may say, well, you know what? Mike McCoy should be our long-term head coach. Boganzi, Brinker, this is the guy you should hire. I wouldn't go that route. And Miss Amy, this goes again, is on her too. Let the guys you hired in these high positions, let them do their job. Don't do not get in the way. And I think that's Miss Amy's problem. She wants to be too involved. She wants to get in the way of everything. Sometimes let your underlings who are supposed to do this job do the job. Let them do the job. You never know. They might pick the right head coach, and they may not. And if they don't, then at some point you fire them too. But give them the opportunity to do their job. And I don't know if Miss Amy's going to let them do that. I hope she does. Let Borgonzi hire his guy. And there are some good possible candidates out there, and that's something that we're going to talk about in the coming weeks and months because we got plenty of time to talk about it. But again, the main breaking news, Brian Callahan is out, and it looks like Bill Callahan is probably going to resign and go with him. And I understand that. That's fine. I think in the end, this is the right move to make. You get a jump start on the head coaching candidates. And I'm thinking, what possible head coach would not want to get their hands on Cam Ward and think, I'm the guy that can make sure that this guy is successful. I'm going to put him in the right position to succeed. And that's something that we're going to find out. I mean, we've seen it. Bones Fossil had to come in with one of the worst special teams units around, and he has turned it around. And while Bill has basically said it, Bill Callahan, since his son has got fired and decided to step down, he resigned. And Scott Fouche will be the interim offensive line coach. So that was already kind of figured out. The thing about that is that, now you got to wonder how the offensive line is going to continue to look. I mean, he was the assistant offensive line coach, and it ain't look much better. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this season happens to turn out. But again, we know what the story is. Brian Callahan is out. Bill Callahan has decided to join him. And now we're going to be looking for a new head coach. And we're also going to be looking for a new head coach and probably a new offensive line coach. So we're definitely going to be seeing what's happening. But also, it had been announced the Tennessee Titans at 7:30 are going to have a press conference. At 7:30 tonight, while Monday Night Football is going on, is going to have a press conference. So it's all done. I'm trying to read anything else. Right now, yeah, according to Paul Kaharski, Bill Callahan will leave the team. And of course he is, because of course he is. His son just got fired. So I only came for him. If my son just got fired, I'm going too. And they're going to have a press conference during Monday Night Football when all the local shows are off, so they can't get no criticism or nothing like that. I mean, they're thinking that the world ain't gonna pay attention. Yeah, we are. So we're gonna definitely see what this means. But once again, Brian Callahan fired as the head coach, of the Tennessee Titans. Bill Callahan has resigned. His father, offensive line coach Bill Callahan, has resigned and will leave the team. Scott Fuchs will take over as offensive line coach, and Mike McCoy, senior offensive assistant, will take over as head coach. Um, I mean, I don't know what this is going to mean, but watch Brian Callahan go somewhere and actually is better. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens after all of this, y'all. But again, just giving my thoughts, I think it's the right move. Maybe a little too late, but you get a jump on everybody else. And so that's basically how this is going to go. They said they don't want any fallout for firing Callahan when we lose to our former head coach. No, there's going to be fallout when that happens. When that happens, there will be fallout. They think they can hide from that. There won't be. They won't be. There will be. Um, there will be some fallout. So you might as well get ready for that. But again, what happens if Mike McCoy does well? Then you lose draft stock. Then you fall further down the draft order, and you might lose out a potential edge rusher, um, a big time edge rusher, which you need. Or you may lose out on a big time wide receiver, which you need. So there's a lot that could go wrong with this. But we're going to find out. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting to see how that all goes. But y'all, that's really all I wanted to do was come in and give my thoughts on this. Um, Mike McCoy does have some head coaching experience, which is good, but I don't know if it's going to lead us to any victories. We're going to find out. I'm actually planning on going to the game Sunday because this is going to be a shit show, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But just wanted to give my thoughts on that. Um, they didn't want fallout for Fire Callahan when we lost to our former head coach. They would look super erratic if they did that, like when J Rob got fired. I mean, that's going to be very interesting, Dr. Stone, how that's going to work. And yeah, I did see where Nick Holtz got retained. So Nick Holtz is still there. But the Titans have got to figure out a way to get out of their own way. If they could do that, they might be successful. But Ms. Amy has got to get the hell out of the way and let the guys that she hired do their job. That's basically it, plain and simple. Everybody, make sure y'all leave. Y'all can hit up the super chat. Definitely. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you haven't already, and also go like and follow Chris A. Newell on Facebook as well. I'm gonna start putting some stuff on there. I'm gonna try to get another page opened up as far as for this show, so I'm gonna work on that also. But again, make sure y'all hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go on in and join the community. I'll be glad to have you. And y'all forgive me, my phone just dropped again. But y'all got a scary feeling about hire Bill Belichick. I hope not either because he's too old. He's too old. His time has passed. And we all could tell Tom Brady really won them Super Bowl, not Bill Belichick. So that would be stupid. But anyway, y'all, um, that's about all I have for the show tonight. I just wanted to come on and give my thoughts about it. Again, I think it's a good move. Maybe a little too late, but the move has been made. We got the rest of the season to figure out who's going to be our next head coach. Maybe they'll play with their hair on fire, and maybe they come out victorious against the Patriots. Um, and we'll see how Mike McCoy does the rest of the way. But y'all, it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the season is going to play out. Now I'm actually back invested because I want to see how the rest of this year plays out. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. Make sure again y'all hit up the super chat. I definitely would appreciate that. Make sure y'all follow, like, share, subscribe to the channels. And I will talk to y'all later this week as we get ready for the Patriots. As always, tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. I'll holler at you.